Hi, it's Major General Jeff Broadwater again with Sergeant Major Kinney. And as we told you yesterday, we wanted to make sure that we had this communication with all our families and troopers here as we work through the COVID-19 concerns that you might have here. So we will continue this process. What we're going to do right now is kind of take the five largest questions that we received on our Facebook inbox here. And we ask that you continue to make sure that if you have questions or concerns, to use that medium as a way to get information for us as we go forward. So I will take the first question here, and then I'll turn it over here to the Sergeant Major to take one. But the big question that we've gotten is, what about the troops currently in Europe, and when will they be returning? So as many of you know, that question really kind of depends on what organization you are with inside the 1st Cavalry Division. So I'll start with the 2nd Brigade, or Blackjack. So Blackjack has been over in Europe now for a while, supporting our allies and partners there, as well as our national interest. And there is no change to their timeline. They are continuing to execute within the parameters inside of Europe, and they are still scheduled to come back sometime later on this summer. So again, no impact to their timeline on when they are coming back. Now, if you are in the Sustainment Brigade, you have elements inside of that organization that are participating in the big exercise, or the series of exercises that a lot of you have been hearing about, called Defender 2020, right? And so those units inside the Sustainment Brigade that are currently operating and executing strategic readiness inside of Europe, they will stay on their original timeline, and they will probably come back to that. They will come back in accordance with those redeployment timelines. The third group of those is really the division headquarters soldiers in Divardi, and a smaller portion of the Sustainment Brigade there, that we were scheduled to execute a couple of our exercises over there. Those exercises have been postponed, and we will do those at a later date. And those soldiers should be coming back here within the next couple of weeks here, as we try to move them back here so we can prepare for other events inside of the United States. So that's kind of where we are to answer that question on the soldiers right now. Again, I can't get into specifics in this fashion that we are in there, but if you have major concerns or specific things, then talk to your chain of command, and they can give you more details on that one. So I'll turn it over to Sergeant Major to ask or answer the second question.
Okay, I had the next two questions dealing with PCS and TDY for PME courses. So first off, PCSs are postponed until 11 May. Unit leadership is working with soldiers and families that have cleared post but have not signed out, and have shipped their household goods and POVs forward. Unit leadership is working with them for the best way forward. TDY soldiers attending PME courses. They are currently still continuing to train, and some of them will even graduate soon, sooner than expected. They will reach out to you with their new graduation timelines, but we expect them back shortly, because they will not stay in position until 11 May. They will return as soon as they graduate. I ask you all to continue to stay engaged with your unit leadership for continued updates.
Great. Okay, I will go to the next question that we got a lot of questions about here, and that's, hey, what are the soldiers that are currently at Fort Hood doing on a daily basis? So yesterday, Sergeant Major and I, we talked a little bit about some of the same things that you're doing in your daily lives here in Fort Hood and the surrounding area, and that's really kind of focusing on ways to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. So we still have the obligation to be ready for any mission that our nation calls us to do. And so there is still training that's going on here in Fort Hood in all our units, but I can guarantee you that our concern for your soldiers' health is at the utmost of our minds, as we talked yesterday. So what are we doing? Well, a lot of that has to do with social distancing. So we like to do PT in the morning, and that usually starts with a formation, which is very, very important as our leaders go out and really look at our soldiers and talk to them and understand, hey, how are they doing through the day? If they're feeling sick, then obviously we can help them their care. If they have any concerns with their family members, that can be addressed during the day, and we can work on finding those resources for us. Now, we have tried to spread out those formations as much as we possibly can to minimize the size of those formations, as you've heard in the media right now, to prevent that spread from doing that. We've increased our sanitation teams around the area, as well as the cleaning teams in common areas where soldiers would be training, or in some facilities that they might be in, to prevent the spread of that from going on. But those things are currently still going on here inside 1st Cavalry Division, as we have to make sure that we are ready to any emergency that the United States might call us for. The last kind of top 5 questions that we had there on Facebook was, okay, so what's the process for if I do feel sick? How do I get screened? And that is, we'll have a kind of a flow chart on the Facebook. If you're doing that, again, it starts with, if it's a soldier, in that first formation in which they're talking to their first line leader and addressing any concerns that they might have. But I will, again, if you have any concerns on how your well-being, if you're feeling sick or a little bit under the weather, Fort Hood has established that 24-hour hotline 7 days a week, and that phone number again is 254-553-6612. That's 254-553-6612. So we greatly appreciate your questions, and we will continue to answer these in this fashion. And we want to thank you for everything that you're doing to prevent the spread of the coronavirus, and your flexibility in this very, very fluid time that we're in. First team.